The following podcast contained mature language and adult discussion.
Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. Back for yet another week. I'm here with Kevin Nash, the titular head. Just wanted to say titular tonight. Want to get it in some way. Oh, Kev, this week, I was pondering today, actually, flipping through the socials. When do you decide you're a prominent figure, you have 1 million followers, and when do you decide when to reply to fan, worker, whatever, and when it's just not worth it? What is it? Just a personal, I feel like setting somebody straight, or is it just, do you have kind of a rule that I don't bother if
It's I guess it comes down to how long it takes me to dump that morning deuce.
That's where the business goes down, right?
Yeah, I pick up my phone, I look at my emails, I look at my messages first because I'm old school. That means that's the people that know me. Mm-hmm. Then I look at my emails. And then I go to Instagram and I see if I've got any notifications there. And then I go to X and see what's going on there.
10 minutes maybe, right? How long does it take to drop a mud shark? 10 minutes?
Yeah, because Daddy's got a juice harp, Mama's got a mud shark. They go on and on and on and on. Mama's got a mud shark. Daddy can't sleep at night.
I don't get in the way of the singing anymore, so we can isolate it and cut together a good 7 to 8 minute song. So it'll be that kind of impulsive, like sitting down first thing in the morning. We're talking about, it sounds like, yeah. Right? And then I don't think I'm quick enough to be able to wittily or intelligently
see. I have
lay somebody out.
One of my buddies, we've made it clear that I sleep in T's, which was T's old room, and I mean I'll get up in the nighttime and use that restroom, but when it comes to the morning deuce, I use the one that's for the 2 back bedrooms, because it has an ocean view. So while I'm sitting on the shitter, I can look over my left shoulder and I can see the water break.
And it's also far enough away from Tamara that you're not as you destroy the toilet, she doesn't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I eat pretty clean. I mean, there's a lot of times I wipe and I'm like, what? Nothing?
Yeah, but the odor. A lot of you guys with the supplements and all that stuff, it's ungodly.
Not when you take. I take so much gut floral shit and everything else. It's like I don't have gas.
All right, what do I know?
I eat like my protein powder is grass-fed beef whey.
Oh, right.
It's grass-fed. It's not, so there's, I try to do, I don't eat, there's a lot of things if you can cut out, just,
What is it, is it disgusting?
What,
the grass-fed whey powder?
No, they can put any kind of flavor. Like right now, my flavor, I usually go through one of those cans and probably, I don't know, maybe 6 days, and I use different products, but right now I use Sea Balm has a product, but I think the flavor right now is coffee cake. So it's coffee cake flavored. I have peanut. I'm not, because of my GERD, I can't have chocolate. So I'm
What do you take? I have to take Nexium every day because of that. Do you take something daily or?
Yeah, but mine's fucking some high end fucking deal.
Will it prevent me from getting liver cancer? Because I'm hearing that perhaps there's some is it liver or kidney, something. I'm at risk for something from my.
Tamara was on one of those, and I had her doctor put her on what I'm on.
You have to text me that. I have to ask about.
Mine's like Panazol
yes, Panazol. I know that because that's what my wife was on for a while.
Yeah.
So it's not a PPI, a protein pump inhibitor. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah. I'll have to check it out. Any doctors listening, feel free to to write in, our high-end audience. So, all right. So that was what I was wondering. Like, I'm sitting there and I have that moment. Like, do I school this person on this fucking random person on the internet, or am I just with like 72 followers and I'm just not bothering?
Yeah, it just depends on who the person is. And my whole thing is, like, I don't want to get in a shitting contest with anybody. Like, I don't want to go back and forth.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, like we said some things on the show, and I made some observations, and then the person waited until he were finished War and Peace and had a rebuttal three weeks later, and then you made it known to me that the person had a rebuttal. So the next morning I woke up and I read it, and I was just like, it's kind of weak. So if it would have been like stiff, it would have been I would have actually, probably not said anything. But when it's like, if you throw me a softball, it's like impossible for me not to just, out of habit, just knock the dog fuck out of it.
And then it's like, all right, enough, right? It's like,
well, I mean, like I always, when it comes down to, like, if Scott and I don't jump, and that never happens, then nobody at that AEW is on guaranteed money right now. Nobody in this business is on guaranteed money. There's not buses behind the WWE. It's a different fucking, we're still in a different, and you can't prove it. You can't say until, you can't go back in time, but when they gave Mark Morrow fucking $500,000, the Johnny B. Bad character, to come and take the place of Scott and I leaving, that changed the business. Because once he got $500,000, fucking everybody in the locker room went, what?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. It was always, to take a page out of Maven's book, it was always you were getting paid on the house, right? You're getting paid for the number of your appearances, and then
he wasn't even in a business when that happened.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I'm going back to the 80s. I'm going back to Hogan.
Well, if you want to go back to the fucking Continental, you could get your pay. You get your pay, or you get an 8-ball. How far back do you want to go?
You're staying at the Edgewater in Seattle.
You get. Hey, you want your pay, or you want it? And you want a couple of fucking pounds of mudfish, a little mud shark.
A little mud shark.
The old mud shark.
We got in the pre-show, and this is just more incentive for listeners. Please join the Kliq This TV.
I have been a Led Zeppelin fan my entire life, and I had no idea that they basically sodomized a woman with a mud shark fish in the Edgewater Hotel in Seattle, Washington.
Everyone in Seattle listening right now is going, yeah, and?
Yeah. Okay. McDonald's is bad for you, really?
Yeah, we weren't privy to the McRib
Yeah.
out here, so we were a little shocked to hear this today.
Yes.
Wesley went there. I don't think he had any sea life insertion into any orifices, we'll say. But at the hands of Led Zeppelin, apparently a young lady did. So for the rest of the show, the constant mud shark references.
Wesley is admitting that he ate a ton of seafood, and everything tastes like cod.
You know who listened to us last week? Tom Talker 2000. He says, "It's funny you say that, Kevin. I always think of Killer Kowalski when I see Gunther perform. There are some similarities there for sure."
I read that. I read his comment. I popped because it's funny, man, because when but it's like if you do it to Iron Claw when the first time they show Fritz, and he's coming at you like Frankenstein in black and white. It almost has that the killer look, and then you take that into Gunther.
Was that the guy that played later Fritz? A different actor for the opening scene?
I don't think so.
Still that guy? Okay, that guy's name. I did a TV series with this guy years ago.
I saw him in a movie with Jason Stratham not too long ago, and they were they ran armored cars, and he was the guy that was the inside to letting people fucking know. And then Stratham was, of course, I don't know which actor has the most. I probably have to say Jason Stratham, not as much as Liam Neeson, because Liam Neeson, remember in the old days it was Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger would always say, he'd always have to explain why he had the accent.
Yes.
He was a U.S. Special Forces guy, but
But born in Austria.
Yes, yeah, there was always they had that one. Liam Neeson always has to say, have a certain skill set. He has to get that in. That way you understand why a 70-year-old fucking bag of shit's beating your ass later in the film.
Chaotic says, Will Sasso wasn't insulting Nash at all. He based his impression around something that we, Kliq This fans, would get. He obviously watches y'all. Okay, yeah, I didn't.
I didn't take it as it. It looks like
I asked if it was stiff.
This tank top I have on looks like I've got Andre's gear on. I've got like the.
This is the very, and Steve, I sent you the link. This is the very. There it is. If anyone.
That's it, man.
Has not seen Guest Booker with Kevin Nash.
Hey,
head over to the KC Vault.
Tell me I don't fucking keep my shit. That's like the guy.
What year that was.
That's like the guy that fuck it. I don't look much older.
No, you don't. You don't.
I actually look like I think I look actually younger. But anyway, the guy that made the comment this week is because I said I wish I would have got leather interior, and he's like, "Well, you didn't get the premium." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, no. The premium GT is what I have. It has the fucking the premium GT leather is an option, and I didn't. And then when I thought about it, like today it was so fucking hot here. The last thing I would want to do is I remember especially when I had the convertible. Man, you leave the top down and go in someplace for a minute. Because one thing that was great about the GT was the 05 GT that I had was you could put shit in your trunk and there was no access. There was no button anywhere. The only way you could get in your trunk is to have the keys, the fob.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or yeah. So you could anything you didn't leave anything in the car. Just put your wallet
You're
in
either
your pocket.
popping it from the interior or you have your key, right? Yeah.
You can't pop. Yeah, no, you can't pop it in the interior.
You can't open it. You can't open
trunk?
not this card. You're the last one.
The
You
last
couldn't open
one.
the trunk from
No.
inside.
No, did I didn't ever tell this story in Jacksonville?
No.
When fucking kid came and I locked my keys in the fucking trunk. He walked away from me and I was talking to him. I went into my trunk and I got the car charger that goes in the fucking into the port. And I actually think at this point, in 05, I'm pretty sure it was like a cigarette lighter adapter
Probably.
that I had.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a kid. I did a signing in Jacksonville, and he was going to catch a flight out. And I fucking, as I was talking to him, as he's walking away from me, and I've got the cord in my hand, the phone, and I just shut the fucking, and I'm like, I know for a fact on top of my briefcase is my fucking keys. So I get and I'm in my car. The top's up, because I just walked from the fucking inside of the signing. So I'm like, ugh. So I go to YouTube, and I mean, I'm looking around the car, and I can't find a button anywhere. So I watched like a 3-minute YouTube video on the 05, getting into the 05 trunk, and it talks. It goes to it's like a minute and a half in. It goes to the 04, which wasn't even the same body style. And we had an 03, which was, I hated that car. It was small, and but it had a little yellow button in the glove box that you could push, and it would pop the trunk. So I'm like, there's not. I mean, I've had this fucking car at this point now. I've had the car for 6 years. I'm like, there's no fucking. So I watch it. Then finally it gets to the 05, and the guy just it goes from being a instructional thing where it just is showing to it actually shows the guy that's talking. He goes, now to the 05. Well, I don't know why, but Ford made it impossible to get into the trunk. And I'm just like, oh, fuck me. So I get on my phone and I call a locksmith. And I said, hey, and it's fucking like it's starting to get dusk. In Jacksonville, this building is kind of in the hood. I got no fucking peace on me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. So I call this dude, and he says to me, man, it's Saturday. I said, I don't want to fucking be a dick, but I know it's Saturday.
Still locked out of my fucking car. I don't care what day of the week it is, yeah.
And on top of that, I've got all my briefcases. Oh God, sorry.
Little black lung today?
Huh? Yeah.
Black lung today? What's up? Could have had this
No,
show in an iron lung.
It rained for 2 fucking days, and now I'm dying of pollen.
It's been raining here for 2 fucking months. I can't wait to see some sunshine. Go ahead,
Yeah, but
tell the story.
Hold on, I gotta get rid of this fucking cold.
So what I'm going to say now is I would have been in a great amount of trouble if that trunk situation were today. Now it'll pop automatically if it senses your key. Like a lot of times I'll put my bag in.
Yeah,
it'll pop now. But back then, clearly,
it wouldn't mind because the key's in the fucking trunk.
That's what I mean. But now if I put my bag in the trunk and I try to close it with my key in my bag, it pops open. You can't. You can't close your keys in the trunk anymore.
I wouldn't take the chance to fucking go, oh, mine does that too. Because the minute I did it, we go, oh, fuck, my keys are in the car. So I called this guy, and I said, dude, I said, I'll give you $300 if you come out here and do this. And he says, what are you doing? He said, that's not a good area. I'm like, yeah, I know. I said, I was doing a signing. He goes, who are you? I said, Kevin Nash. I told him twice, this is Kevin Nash. I'm thinking, like, please, man. No. He goes, you wouldn't be the wrestler, would you? And I said, yeah. He goes, fuck, that is you. I can tell by your voice. He goes, I'll be right there. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, man, this is great. Like, like you can say what you want to about being, people bothering you and all this other shit, but when it comes down to when you need a table, you want
when you want to insert a mud shark into someone, they're more willing to take it when you're famous.
Especially if you want them to lie on the stand for you. There was no mud shark involved. So I'm sitting and all of a sudden, man, some dually comes coming at me across this parking lot. And the guy gets out, shakes my hand. He goes, well, we're going to get a picture together, right? And I said, dude, I'll blow you. Whatever you want. Let's just get this fucking trunk open. So he pulls out his fucking gimmick, lays it on the trunk of my car. He's got his surgical fucking tools. He's doing the pick. I'm not kidding you, man. It's like 10 minutes, and he ain't got this thing picked yet. And I mean, I could just feel my fucking asshole getting tighter and tighter going. I'm like, oh, fuck.
You're not going to be able to take the whole shark. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this guy ain't going to, this is fucking, I bought a car that you can't get into if you fucking lie. Like, I'm going to have to get a cutting torch. And pop, the thing goes. So the first thing I do immediately is I grab my fucking keys. And I put them in my fucking pocket. I said, fuck that. I said, I went around and I put them in the ignition and turned the car. I said, let me get the air conditioner running. So then I went out and I went to give him some money. The guy wouldn't take any money.
Wow.
He said, nah. He said, let me just get a picture. So I went took a couple selfies. I said, please do this. Let me give you a couple $100 and take your wife out to dinner or do something, man. He said, all right. So I took the money. I got my car and I shut the door, and it was just one of those things that was just like,
yeah.
Because my wife was expecting me, it's a 90-minute ride from Jacksonville to my house. And she's expecting me to be home. I mean, this is going to add like an hour onto that, but it's like, I wasn't going to call her until I got on 95 and went, by the way, your stupid ass fucking husband locked his fucking keys in the trunk. And she said, were you fucking around with a mud shark? I said, no, baby.
No, I swear.
No, I swear to God I didn't have a mud shark anywhere near me. So.
Is there a nice part of Jacksonville? The only
I don't
times
know.
I've been
I saw the $1 billion stadium that the artist rendition of. They said they were going to build this $1 billion stadium in Jacksonville. So.
Okay. But from a residential standpoint, because the only times I've been up there, it's been.
Well, number one, Jacksonville County is the city line of Jacksonville. Jacksonville is the largest city in America, landmass. The whole county is Jacksonville County, or is it Duval County? It might be Duval County.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Duval County. And there's the stadium that they're going to.
The Jags are headed there?
Well, they're going to change their name to the Mud Sharks.
Oh, okay, good.
Hey, you got to fucking, Chicago. They beat Chicago to it. Chicago wanted that lakefront fucking.
I thought Seattle would have done it first, but
they can't. Zeppelin's got to fucking lean on them. So they're gonna. That'll definitely spruce up old fucking.
See, now that's obviously, Steve, bring the picture up again. That's obviously a practice facility, right? This is the thing now, man. The practice facilities are like these high-end versions.
That's actually it's a prison, and what they're going to do is they're going to have AEW do their live TVs from there, and that way they'll have the convicts dressed as people, and they'll be able to force them to watch the show.
They'd stay in the cell.
No.
I think they'd opt to stay in.
No, they're actually gonna. So.
So this could be merch. The Jacksonville Mud Shark,
Mud Shark
jerseys we could do for our crew.
Unbelievable.
A Huang 9069 says, I came here for another round of rigorous analysis of the latest AEW output. Instead, I learned about Egypt's naval capabilities. He said of last week's show.
You know, you never know what you're going to learn.
That's why people come back, man.
You got to.
Nobody
on Cornette's Drive-In fucking left that fucking show going, I had no idea fucking Egypt had the best naval capabilities in the Middle East.
Or, Corny, what do you mean you couldn't get into the trunk of the 05 Mustang to get your keys?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't drive anywhere, goddammit.
If you're listening today on Monday, we're going to have, by the end of the day, we're going to have 10,000 experts on the Mustang, the 05 Mustang. So, that's something to feel good about. We hear you, Oh Huang.
That, and we're actually going to have the trademark on Mud Shark, so don't anybody even try.
Get your legal team. Get McDevitt to start doing the paperwork.
I don't think he does anything anymore.
Chance talks business. Nash acting like we aren't in a recession is comical. Wall Street may not be as hurting as much yet, but Main Street is. Small businesses are starting to feel it. I talk to them every day. Well, what's small business, Chance? I mean, obviously you're in touch with...
Can we just say this first? There are indicators. I believe there's, if my economic...
9, right? I think
there's 11.
Is there 11? I thought there were 9.
11 indicators. There might be 9. It depends if you measure from the crack, from the crack of your ass or not.
Exactly, Bubba.
But so there was some other people that were talking about that we were in a recession in the gym, and I said, well, one of the first signs of a recession is that the people that are on fixed incomes start to see relief because there's a drop in the price of goods because of the sales. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, well, yeah. I said, that's part of recession is,
I think people are confusing inflation and recession.
Inflation
maybe.
and
They're
recession.
Not understanding the difference.
And even like, it was yesterday. Yesterday they did like the whole what do they call it? The medium fucking recession, whatever it is. Was 3.5, and then this month it was 3.4. So it showed the first dip, and the Dow jumped like 400 points shortly after.
Yeah. Well, Chance, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking to the mom and pops, and they're, if mom and pop have a hardware store and Lowe's is around the corner, it's not so much the market that's the issue. I'd have to talk to you what industry you're talking about. I don't know.
Well, the thing
My
is,
supermarket's fucking full every time I go there. The lines are out the ass. I don't know.
And every time I go to a restaurant, it's full. But then at the same time, we've had a Red Lobster beachside here in Daytona Beach Shores for, God, I mean, since T was fucking 6 months old. It was the first time we were all down here together. And it's closed. I just saw closed signs on the Red Lobster.
I read an article about those restaurants in that ilk. I forget what you call it. They're the chains, obviously, but they're kind of like the mid chains that were dominant in like the 80s.
Like the Outbacks.
Right. And they're closing, and they specifically mentioned Red Lobster. I forget who owns Red Lobster. It's one of the other chains owns them. And they're closing a shitload of them, maybe like Fridays or something. But because of
all you could
not
eat
a recession, They were killing themselves on the all-you-can-eats. You may be joking, but that's what the article was talking about.
I know it. It was all-you-could-eat shrimp.
Absolutely.
And it fucking murdered them.
And also,
how long does it take you if you're running the books? How long does it take you to fucking sit there and go, "Hey man, we're getting fucking killed on this shrimp"?
About the close of business the first day.
Fuck, are you? I mean, Jesus. I remember we're in the Cayman Islands, and there's a double-decker bus in the Cayman Islands. It's used to be by the High Regency in the Caymans, and they had all-you-could-eat grilled lobster tail for like fucking $69, and they fucking asked me. There were 6 of us. You can walk out of here right now and not pay a dime if you just, and I'm just like,
if you don't destroy us for the rest of the night.
And I said, fuck you.
Right.
Like, no, I'm going to sit here and eat another 10 now.
Hey, this is your campaign. I didn't fucking tell you to do this.
Don't do it next week. I won't be here.
Also the restaurants that are knocking these guys out are like the Chipotle, I guess they skew a little younger, and it's customizable, like where you do everything on the thing there. So these restaurants are stable. Tying this a little bit to Chance's comment that the closure of restaurants is not always also indicative. You got to get the story. You got to go find the story. There's always a story. Trip Jones was listening or watching or both and said people who have crappy jobs with no ambition and can't manage money will always look for anything to blame except themselves for being unsuccessful. Get a trade, start a business. Crying about how you feel it's a recession isn't going to change anything. So
I have a question.
Trip
for
Jones
you.
On the other side of that. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're on our way into a recession, which we've since Biden's been in office. That was one of the things is we're going into a recession. We're going into a recession, yet we still haven't went into a recession. So what do you do when you're on the brink of recession? Do you make sure that a guy that's been bankrupt 5 times
is the leader of the free world?
Is the leader of the free world? I mean, is that good common sense?
You're asking people to use logic, Kevin.
I mean,
they just want their gun.
My whole thing, they can have their fucking gun, and I think that he's not going to be found guilty on anything before fucking November. I think my favorite thing this week was that both Trump and Biden agreed. They're not them, but their handlers agreed on the dates for the debates.
Mm-hmm. No audience. Right?
No audience. They're going to shut the mic off after, they agreed on this. And then I watched fucking Fox News, and they're like saying that it's going to be rigged in Biden's favor.
Because he can't be screamed over?
I'm like, well, how you just agreed to...
Or because CNN's moderating? Like, what was their take? Because the Fox one that hosted Gavin Newsom and DeSantis was ridiculous. What's his name? The moderator.
Hannity?
Yeah, it was so... The way he worded everything was so ridiculously one-sided. It was hilarious. He's like, now, Governor DeSantis... Well, DeSantis would speak, and then he'd go to Newsom. Governor Newsom, Florida, as we all know, is #1 in education. You were at 39th. And why Newsom didn't go up throwing a flag? You're #1 in what metric are you looking at in education in Florida's #1?
Right.
So they peppered him with the softballs that were given to DeSantis. Like, here's an opportunity to show your poop map we're going to bring up. So I'd never seen a debate more shittily handled. As far as bias than that. So if they're thinking that CNN's going to do that, they would know. And I don't know who's the mod. Did they announce a moderator yet? Or
I don't know who
Lester Holt will it be? No, that's he's
that's
on MSNBC.
NBC. He's on NBC.
NBC, right, Nightly News.
NBC.
WNBC. Delbert Prince wants to contribute. Hello, Kevin and Sean. I have a college sports question. How do you feel about college basketball players being compensated for their NIL deals? We touched on this a little bit. I think we both said it's kind of a long time coming, right? Everyone else is making money off of them, right? They're adults. Yeah. I don't see the problem. Just because it's always been the way it's done.
And the thing is, if you look at it, you look at that Caitlin Clark, she was making $3.5 million on her NIL deal, and Jake Topper and Dana Bosch are the anchors for the first one, and David Muir from ABC.
Okay, so I see. So that's probably their complaint is Dana Bash and Jake Tapper because of. I could see what they're saying, but listen, the questions are the questions. We'll have to see. I wonder if it's even going to come off.
Who gives a fuck?
You know what I give a fuck about? Father's Day's coming, and Manscaped would be a fine gift for anyone out there considering such a thing. Fellas, listen, blink if you haven't purchased a Father's Day gift yet. Yup, see, there you go. I thought so. Today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in the below-the-waist grooming. Maybe your pops has had a bush since the 70s, but listen, that's okay, all right? Our friends at Manscaped have crafted the total package for his special day, whether it's for the boys downstairs or his beard or even the best pair of underwear out there. Manscaped has his bases covered. Head over to manscaped.com, get 20% off and free shipping with the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q. From daddy to zaddy, trust Manscaped. So many products. They have, of course, the beard products that Kevin has talked about extensively. The beard kit. No beard kit would be complete without a Manscaped Handyman face shaver for that smooth finish that we know he loves. This bad boy is all he's going to need, all right? Compact enough to fit in any travel case. Make sure he takes it on his next trip. What about a lot of body hair? What are we talking about? We're talking about some body hair, right? We're talking about men. We're talking about dads. We're talking about body hair. You're in luck because the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra can also be in his plans. We have the Signature Lawnmower 5.0, okay? This Father's Day is also the perfect time for your old man to stop stealing his wife's nail clippers and finally have a kit of his own that will last him a lifetime. The Shears 3.0, the 5-piece precision men's nail grooming kit that any father needs to stay on top of his self-care with this professional-grade stainless steel tool. I didn't even know about that. That's amazing. And the set of underwear you got, I think I'm wearing a set today, Manscaped. I am indeed wearing my Manscaped. I won't treat anybody to that, but to the mud shark, but I do in fact love the boxer briefs that they offer us. Guys, get your 20% off right now, plus free shipping. What the hell are you waiting for? Go use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q. Never forget where you came from, if you know what I mean. Happy Father's Day from Manscaped. And to all folks who would like to be part of the live audience, you can do that at kliqthistv.com. Join the 11 Soft Club. We have all of our folks, our friends here watching the live taping and participating as well. Kev, it sounds like you were firing
when you said on the Manscaped thing, you said, you trim up his shit and then take care of Dad's beard. I was thinking about like his gay lover. His beard.
Right. His protection. I thought you were going to say don't use the same clipper, and there is the beard trimmer, and then there is the
beard.
lawnmower.
The beard would actually be a female.
Someone's beard, a gay guy's beard, would be a woman, exactly. But I'm saying I thought you were going to say don't use the same when you go downstairs on the beard, and that would have been absolutely correct.
So I was on the road and I forgot my face trimmer, and I had my other. I got the wrong one, You know, because I use the face trimmer. I can't take. I don't even think I own a razor. I just use the. Remember the first one we ever got from Manscaped? That first with the light on it.
Yes. Yeah.
I use that. I still have that, which is a testament to how well the product.
I have them all still. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one is in the master, and I use that to like in the shower to do my armpits and my neck like every day, and then I use the body, the body trimmer. But I'm American Indian, so I don't have a lot of body hair anyway, and
you're more Neanderthal than anything else.
I am Neanderthal.
4%, if I recall correctly.
But I think it might be 7-ish.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm buying it.
I can't find the fucking paperwork.
Icelandic too, or was it Greenland?
Icelandic, and then in 6.3% mud shark.
Right. See, that's competing with the Neanderthal Indian.
Yeah.
But probably a prehistoric.
No matter what, I end up in the box.
So you were using the original,
the
2.0 or maybe the 1.0, whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
Kevin, I did because we talked about last week, and I think people were expecting some wrestling talk. So I tried to watch some wrestling.
I gave it a good shot this week.
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me on the Dynamite show during the contract signing with Nightingale and Moné, okay, I'm not even going to talk about the promo skills. This is what happens when your product is so imitative of the leader. If I was going to put out a cellular phone, it would in no way be mimicking the iPhone, because it's going to draw a reference to the iPhone every time someone picks up the Sean phone. It's got to be different some way. I want to make people forget the qualities of the thing they no longer have.
You mean shitty ass gear's not enough?
It's not enough because Nightingale says every time I look up there on the Titantron. On a fucking AEW. Now, I looked, nobody covered that I saw. Maybe there was coverage. I didn't see any of the sites I go to. They didn't talk about her calling the screen the Titantron on AEW television. But this is ridiculous. And it's not a six-sided ring that's going to do it either.
Yeah. No.
So did you catch anything on Dynamite that you'd like addressed?
I watched the main event.
Or should we talk about Moné and Nightingale and more so that we can be the thumbnail that week as them?
No.
Okay.
No.
So how was the...
I think if anything got moved along, I would say it's the Raw Championship belt. I don't know what that fucking thing is called. Is it the world title?
Yeah.
Is that what it?
On the WWE World Title.
Yeah, that storyline got moved the most because it gave an idea how long before Punk's back, and then McIntyre was basically Priest came out, and Priest has the belt right now, so it definitely put like a three-way dance together to where my only thing is this. I tore my quad completely. I mean,
Never heard of that. I never heard about that.
Yeah, it happened. A lot of people
they don't know about it.
Yeah, I just don't know about it probably because I came back quicker than a tricep tear. But so he's saying he's going to be back for SummerSlam. He tore that motherfucker in January. He tore it at Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, but I think wasn't it 6 to 8 the prognosis that I saw? I thought 6 months was kind of, because I remember us going like, what the hell are they going to do for that long?
Well, I'm just saying, fuck, I tore my tricep, had it reconnected, and fucking I didn't miss a pay-per-view. Thanks for the guaranteed money.
I was going to say this all harkens back to the same discussion we were having before.
Yeah. Don't get fucking paid and see how long you fucking lay around with your fucking arm in a fucking sling. I swear to God, then I heard Dominique got hurt, Mysterio, and he needs Tommy John surgery, but he's passing on it. Steve, is that?
Is it good he's going to continue to work? We'll see.
I don't know. It just seems like everybody in wrestling, Matt tore his pec.
Yeah, we were talking the other day about how
the indie god,
how many injuries, like from a booking standpoint, right, or you know, the creative standpoint.
We were talking about how heavy the WWE was with talent, and then now it's you know, the minute you say that, they're decimated.
And you almost need to be that deep. You know, your bench, I have to call the guys a bench, but you got to have that many guys to shuttle in.
You know, good luck on putting together a storyline to get Roman back in there at some point. I mean, is there anything he can do but fucking say uncle on the tribal thing and go against them?
They're obviously leading up to something. I don't know what you think, but there's so many. I mean, it's just like every week now. So there's obviously, they're consciously going in a direction with the family here.
Right.
So I guess something is coming. While you bring up Drew and Priest, though, I wanted to ask what you thought of the pro. My impression as I'm sitting there watching this, I'm going, so many of the feuds, the angles that we're teasing these days, they're entirely driven by the promo. Something will happen in a match on a pay-per-view maybe, right? And then for 4 weeks, you could almost be guaranteed that they're only going to be talking about it. Whereas I feel, and here go all the comments, it's not the Attitude Era anymore, Sean. I feel like there was a time I watched TV, and it wasn't just talk. If it started with talk at 8 o'clock, at 10:50, there was something happening in the ring.
Well, because I think that especially during the Attitude Era, because there was competition.
And that's what it is, right? It's just, you can take weeks off on TV, just have people talking at each other still.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something's gonna.
I mean, the two products are so vastly different.
Well, they're vastly different in quality, but I don't see. I don't see AEW trying to differentiate.
The psychology is completely different. Like, I heard while watching Wednesday night that Shane Taylor is fighting Will Ospreay Saturday night.
I think they're taping it, and then it'll be on Saturday.
But I mean, it'll be on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, and I don't remember there being anything that I've seen that made that match.
It's called the Twitter match, I believe it's called. The Kevin Nash Twitter match, maybe, is it being referred to as? That's what I'm going to refer to.
I'm curious to why that match was made, and now it's Ospreay's an excellent.
That's this Saturday. Make sure you watch. You know, Wesley was pointing out that AEW overusing Strickland. Okay, so that. Then they're guilty of the opposite. But but in a lead up, doesn't have to be a swerve every time, but this is a physical. We're supposed to be believing that these people want to beat the shit out of each other. How long could you be in someone's company that you really wanted to beat the shit out, especially if there was some kind of personal vendetta, they fucked you out of something, where there's not going to be at least a pull apart, at least the 805 going off the air on TBS pull apart. Reference to the old WCW. But I don't know. It lacks excitement if it's not there. I will say that. So how do you feel about the Drew and Priest promo? Did it advance anything for you?
I know that there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that Priest cashed in the money in the bank and it caught at Drew's expense is only the underlying thing is because Punk allowed it to. Like Punk put him in that position.
Mm-hmm.
So it's heat by proxy. So I know you've got it. I think they've done a good job of, like I saw something like Punk was on social media or something like that, and he was stating that he was added to the video game along with Terry Funk and a couple of the like Sandman and some other guys, ECW hardcore guys, and he said that for Drew it's got to be great because Drew can finally be his favorite wrestler, CM Punk. So I thought that was kind of funny and they've kept, they keep, my whole thing is they have so many tentacles that get so much fucking, like they had actual house show King of the Ring matches moving forward.
I couldn't believe,
like
why
Kofi,
would you do that? You don't
Kofi beat Rey Mysterio at a house show to make Kofi's match for Raw.
If you need to draw, I'm down with that. If you need to draw, I think that's great to try and get people come out, in the cities and stuff to see that. I know that like back in the old WCW before the Monday Night Wars, they would do that shit with like the Bunkhouse Stampede. They'd have house show Bunkhouse Stampede since we covered it extensively, and also like stuff for the Great American Bash was like a tour, so you'd have to go to the live shows to see the matches. But WWE's selling out, right? They don't need to do that. They don't need to keep that away from me, who's viewing on TV.
But
if I gave a shit about the tournament,
the thing is though that this King of the Ring is you've only got a month. Between the last pay-per-view in France to this, you have a month, and you've got limited house shows, you're running super shows, so there's no reason why you wouldn't give the people, it's the old Pat Patterson, give them something extra. So the WWE is giving you something, they're giving you raw quality matches that mean something at a house show.
Mm-hmm.
So
LA Knight has spoken out about this on Twitter. He said, I appreciate everyone saying this match should have been on TV, but no need to throw live event crowds under the bus. Live events are where the WWE roster has as much fun as possible. Not only having a great match, but a match with huge stakes makes the live events more fun. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying from a business standpoint, why do you have to do that?
And I think from his standpoint, that's exactly what you want to hear. Because fucking it ain't cheap, man. It ain't cheap to go to a live event. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And if the guys are going out there and they're busting their fucking ass, I mean, God, that's what this business was built on.
Why is, if we're talking about this and AEW and WWE, why are they running big houses? there's not a chance that they're going to fill it, right? So why would you book a 12,000 seat house and have? I saw a picture here, Steve. I have the link for you from the Dynamite taping yesterday. We're doing this on Thursday, but I guess it was someone sitting on. And again, it's that unflattering something happening in the ring with people dressed like chairs in the background. So why even have an opportunity for that to happen? Do they need it for production? I'm honestly asking. Do they need it for production?
I think that it's booked so far out.
What they thought 8 months ago they were going to put 12,000 people in.
Maybe 8 months ago they were.
Well, someone can give me the statistics. I don't recall it if it happened, but
I remember when Punk was there, fucking, it seemed like every fucking TV that they had, it was pretty fucking live.
Let's see. Okay, so this was from. Oh, so this is this today? This was yesterday. All right. So this is a taping or a house show. This is tonight's taping. Okay, so. And the arena, what's the venue?
Is it the Motor Center? That's not where the
Portland.
That's not where the fucking Trailblazers play, is it?
Well, I'm looking at the schematic. It's an arena. That could be where they are, right? Look at the seats. Motor Center. There it is.
Yeah, that's the Trailblazer Stadium.
So once again, I mean, I think I saw the setup is for 3,000.
Yeah, the setup is for 3,200. So
why that house? It's cavernous at that point. God, you have to work to hide the cameras and shit.
It's brutal.
I don't know. I mean, you don't book MSG for your kid's birthday party. I mean, there's a
do if you're the Shaw fucking, you know.
Yeah, endless funds, I guess it comes down to.
Yeah, they don't give if your dad is going to sit there and let you wear a fucking neck brace crooked on the NFL fucking draft, do you really think they give two fucks about putting 3,000 people in a place that holds 18,000?
I don't know. I guess not. We're coming at this with logic. And when your dad's Raul Julia, you don't have to worry about that shit.
No. Tango and Cash.
Sami Zayn talked about something I wanted to bring up too. He was talking about he was illustrating how the differences in creative between Vince and Paul.
Did Zayn fucking just job Otis on Monday, or was that me?
Well, there's gonna be a turn, right? Or Otis is gonna turn on what's his name, and
yeah, but fuck, man, he fucking Otis jobbed like a motherfucker.
Well, they're doing that, so he was cost the match by the distraction when he was going to do the worm, and I see where it's going. So we have to build a little sympathy. You have to watch him.
That was the one thing I'll say, though, is just like nobody thought Jey Uso was going to lose. Nobody thought Sammy was going to lose.
Exactly.
Nobody thought Gunther was going to lose. Right. That was my problem with that. And then it's like
they were in essence squashes because you knew they were all going to advance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So getting back to the. I'll quote Zayn here, who was talking about the differences in creative. He said, quote, "I think Hunter sees me differently from how Vince saw me, especially as a good guy. I think Vince saw me much more as a bad guy for a number of reasons. He knew my irksome qualities, and he thought it lent itself to being an irksome character." All right, so the more poignant quote was about changes in direction. Quote, "Having said that, I think things were a lot more unpredictable because of the nature of Vince's week-to-week kind of approach, that sometimes the marble would just fall in the right hole and now you're champion. Whereas with Hunter, I think it's much more he has a longer-term vision, and if you're not part of that vision, then the chances of breaking into that vision are much, much slimmer. It's kind of a double-edged sword. He might see me in a way that lends itself more to being in that mix and possibly winning it, but on the other hand, I could have just slipped on a banana peel and won the world title."
I think that once him and Kevin got together, and they showed that there was, I mean, there's the backstory, and you see that it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for there to be any heat with Zayn. You know, he's an underdog, likable character.
Correct.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you know, so it's.
But that booking philosophy of kind of getting locked into the like Vince Senior was like that on Superstar Billy Graham's edition of Timeline, available at the KC Vault on YouTube. He said that he was told the day he would win the title from Bruno, and the next year, the day he was losing it to Backlund. And my discussion with him was a little like, was that a grievous error because he committed to that 1 year thing, ignoring the fact that his champion, well, I mean, the business was headed in a different direction years later, but he was a template superstar for what was to come. And that's something that you get creatives together, or I guess it was only Vince or whoever he had, a gorilla maybe, and say, listen, we should keep this on Billy a little bit. What's going on here? I don't know that the white meat baby face back, I don't know if this is going to be the direction right now, but he was so committed to it that he got rid of Superstar.
I also
10
think,
months.
though, that from what I heard was the Backlund push was almost his way of saying, like, it's like the Frankenstein monster. Like, I can make, I'll shove him down your throat.
Right.
And I will get him over. Like, I'm the idol maker.
5.5 years.
Yeah.
Of that. And Superstar suggested that he might have been sold a bill of goods by maybe the Vern Gagnes or the Sam Muchnicks of the world who were telling him that a legitimate champion, a legitimate wrestler, is what's going to carry your company into the 80s. And along comes Hogan. Bully Ray is not a fan of the Halls of Fame is how should it be written, but quote from him this week: I could turn anybody into a Hall of Famer with a pencil. Do you understand how crazy that sounds? But Dreamer was just nodding his head yes, because it's the truth. Any promoter can take any talent they want and turn them into a Hall of Famer. Give them 10 years. I'll write you in. I'll write you out. I'll give you such a great career. I get what he's saying. Is it true, Kev?
I don't think so.
Is a Hall of Fame accomplishment in professional wrestling akin to the Hall of Fame accomplishment to somebody who has hit, I don't know,
no, I think
75 home runs?
I think it's more. I think you're looking at a Hall of Fame wrestling career as akin to a fucking star in the Walk of Fame.
Got it. Right, because movies are also fake. So, but we do.
Yeah,
we do emblazon their names in the ground. Thus.
Right.
Okay. That's why I have you here. Kev, the tap out. Why don't we move on?
I'm still not over Yoko, but okay.
For some of the fun. BLUECHEW is bringing us the tap out this week, as they do so frequently.
Because you know that if you take BLUECHEW, expect the Cialis that they sell, that you will, I promise you, my friends, have your loved one tap out.
Oh, they'll be tapping. They'll be tapping while you're tapping. Let me tell you guys, we're talking about the days that you were ready to go, long and strong, and down to get the friction on, so you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed via our friends at BlueChew.com. BlueChew is a unique online service. They deliver the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead, be ready whenever the opportunity arises. The process is what makes them golden. You're going to go right now to BlueChew.com. You can do it while you're listening to us. Bring it up on the phone. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Best part, all done online. That's it. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You're going online. You're signing up. You're making your choice. You're consulting with a medical provider. The prescription is covered right there, and it is sent to your doorstep. It works. Our listeners tell us about it all the time, okay? Now, Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex, so you're going to go discover your options for pills, chewables, at BlueChew.com. Just chew it and do it. And we've got our offer. It always stands, guys. Try Blue Chew for free when you use the promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code NASH to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Tap Out. What are we doing today? All right, every once in a while, Kev, we have some wrestling footage that I'd like you to try and digest. I don't even know the worker's name. It was not on the video. I didn't see it. Maybe someone can find it. I guess it's a pizzeria gimmick. Let's take a look. He's talented. I don't know if it belongs in wrestling, but he's definitely he definitely does. This is a visual for everybody. I will narrate. There's no reason to watch us. So this is clearly an indie. The house is about the size of AEW's Dynamite. Last night he is flipping one-handed a pizza in the apron as they size each other up in the ring with someone looking a lot more like a wrestler. Not an arm bar, but a twist of the arm while the other arm is spinning the pizza under the leg. Kev, that's talent. Throws the dough to distract him and gives him an arm wringer under the leg. Kev, what are you thinking at this point?
I'm tapping.
You're tapping, okay. That's a talent, though, right? That's maybe it doesn't belong in wrestling, but there's talent there.
Yeah. I got an idea. We're a heavyweight champion. You're a juggler.
Florida man or Jersey guy. 2 headlines, actual headlines. 1 from some escapades from someone up here, and 1 headline reporting actual escapades from someone down by Kev. First headline. Man trying to get job as police officer blurts out that he sexually abused a 9-year-old girl during his job interview. And secondly, man threatened to fight staff at steakhouse, ate off people's plates, and spat blood at cops.
Second guy's Jersey, first guy's Florida.
How do you know this? There's nothing in there. That would be you're right.
Because the fucking first guy needs to be fucking burned up to the stake.
The more heinous the crime, generally, the further south we're going. Yeah, actual story. Our friend Stephen Bodley, 26 years old, incriminated himself during a 2021 interview with the Apopka Police Department, in which he admitted behavior that led to a felony conviction at a trial later in Orange County, Florida. Generally something you don't talk about with the police. Something you don't do first, and then certainly don't talk about it. And then our friend here in Jersey, this was in Hoboken, a stone's throw from me. Can stand on my roof and see James Foley, practically, of Jersey City, who was charged with aggravated assault on law enforcement at about 9:50 p.m. at Dino and Harry's Steakhouse. He was trying to fight other patrons, and apparently he ate off everyone's plate and was bleeding from the face and spit it in the face of police officers who responded. It's a little Jersey for you.
I doubt he got it beaten when they got him handcuffed.
No, I'm sure that was... The spitting is bad enough, and then when there's a transfer of blood involved...
Yeah, nothing there.
Back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast, and this is, of course, the high spot of the show. And who would bring you the high spot of the show? Who? Mickey Ray Sinatra, Courtney, Get Blitzed, Lit Aid. That's right. This is the nano-infused
I have
Delta 9.
my key lime colored shirt on today.
You do. You do. We have an announcement coming very soon. There's a contract waiting for me to sign, for God's sakes. I have to review it. The THC sip and syrup is what I'm talking to y'all about right now, okay? We've tried it. We can testify to the love of the Delta 9 sip and syrup. What it is, it's THC, but like on steroids, right? It's a syrup. You just mix it in any beverage, like a tea or a white soda. Guys, all you need is a teaspoon, okay? You don't have to overdo it. And it's a sip and syrup. You sit back, you kick back, you put on the Knicks, Kevin's least favorite team. Put up your feet, sip your soda, sip your white soda and Kev Key Lime, or Sean Oliver's Blue Raz, and the nano infusion means it goes right into your bloodstream, bypassing the breakdown in the liver. It works like alcohol, okay? This is not gas station Delta 8 bullshit. This is the real deal. THC Delta 9, the THC that you get from marijuana. But it's not. It's hemp-derived. So guess what? It's legal. Legal in 50 states. If you're in Maryland, you can visit a Stay-Lit smoke shop, but for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right to your home from the Get Blitzed website. Here's what you're going to do, okay? You don't need a med card, but you do need to be 21. If you are, please go to the website, which is get-blitzed, get-blitzed.com, and you're going to try the Delta 9 THC Sip and Syrup Lit Aid. And if you use that promo code Kliq, which you must, you're going to save 15%, okay? Head over there, get-blitzed.com, promo code KLIQ, save 15%. Thank you, Get Blitzed. Ask Nash, hashtag Ask Nash. Now, I've noticed, Kevin, who is this Nash Grier? Steve, you can pipe in. Who's Nash Grier? He's got like 5 million followers. But he's doing a thing now that's hashtag Ask Nash, because it's his first name. And he's gobbling up my screen when I do a search for the hashtag Ask Nashes. We may have to do hashtag Ask KNash. But we've established this for a year. He's just going to have to deal with it. All right, who is this? Part-time video creator. Is that what his description says? Full-time dad with this 5.9 million. Oh, hashtag Ask Nash. Come on. That's ours, brah. Anyway, so that's my first time hearing of him. But Mark Capps, it didn't daunt him. He was able to get through, and he's asking, Kev, a little switch up for you. 3 NBA coaches. Your opinion on each. First, Bill Fitch, former Celtics coach.
God, I remember when Fitch was with Cleveland. He's just old. It's that era of coach. You know.
Cleveland was after Boston, right?
God, I think Fitch might have been at Cleveland and then Boston.
Really? Okay.
Because Don Nelson was at Boston, I think, when Fitch was at.
With Cleveland? All right, maybe.
Yeah.
Chuck Daly. Well, I know how you feel, but tell our fans. Chuck?
Same thing, man. They all look like mob bosses. I know that Rodman fucking had like a very father relationship with Daly. I've heard nothing bad about Daly.
Daly goes on to coach the goddamn first Dream Team, the greatest Olympic basketball team ever.
And outdressed everybody in the bus.
Fact?
I'm guessing.
Oh, all right.
That motherfucker dressed, man.
Red Holtzman.
He was the coach of the 72 championship Knicks. Looked like fucking like somebody Jimmy Durante would have played. Mick. Cut me, Red.
One coach.
Boy, that was a boring ass fucking. I mean, I don't know. The NBA has come so far.
I was going to do the save.
All right.
Those names aside, an NBA coach you would have loved to play for.
Pat Riley.
Why? I always thought Pat just got handed the best teams in the world, got to wear great suits, slick his hair back, and say, "All right, Irvin, go ahead. Kareem, go ahead."
He won everywhere he was. He won as a player. He won at UCLA. He won at fucking. He's always Riley was a fucking.
Where was his record most in trouble? Miami?
I don't know. I know that he's still there as a general manager, and he's put together some incredible.
Okay.
He's kind of kept Boston at heed there. Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler is healthy, man, I don't know. He's got some kind of mojo. Have you ever read his book, his first book?
The Winner Within.
You ever read that?
I did, actually.
It's
when it came out.
Yeah.
Very
few people's books I read.
Clearly. Cav Manning.
What do you mean clearly?
I don't know. We haven't talked about any of my 7 books. Cav Manning. So I'm rewatching all the Nitros and pay-per-views until WCW went out of business. And I'm sure you've answered this, but why did you miss Starrcade 97? Online, it says you had health problems and thought you were having a heart attack. Can you explain more?
Okay, true story. My mother-in-law and her husband were in Arizona for Christmas. And a buddy of mine made me a pan of pot brownies because I knew I wouldn't be able to smoke because my mother-in-law was there. So, and this is back in my Soma days. I had a little bit of a problem with the muscle relaxers. And it was Christmas, man. I was, drinking a little bourbon, drinking a little beer, drinking a little wine, drinking a little champagne.
Having some Somas, eating some brownies.
Eating some Somas, had a Xanax.
You call that the David Crosby Christmas.
Yeah, I looked over the Iron Sheik, said, "I think you forgot the Z, Bubba." I said, "I'll get to the Z, baby. A to the Z, Bubba." So all of a sudden, man, it's like, and I have no idea, but my buddy says to me, he goes, "Where are those brownies at?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, and it was like how you make back in the day, they had like the little 4 brownies. It was in a thing that was probably like that big.
In the pan?
No, not pan. It was yeah. I mean, it was like a little.
You bake them in a pan, no?
Yeah, but it was like almost paper. Yeah, it was weird. So he said, "Man," he goes, "there's like an ounce of weed in that." And I'm like, "Oh fuck." I'm thinking like, man, these things are fucking horrible. It's like eating bud with chocolate on it was basically what it was, because it was like eating grass. There was so much. So that shit started to kick in. It took a while. And I had this big, giant, the house was big as fuck. And all the furniture was oversized. We had a couch that was huge. And I sat in it, and I swear to you, man, like the thing just ate me. Mm-hmm. I got heavier and heavier and heavier, and I finally got up, and I walked down from that room, you walked through another main room, and then another hallway, and then you went to the master. It was easy the length of a bowling alley that I had to walk to get to the master. And as I walked, man, I just started fucking sweating. So I thought, fuck, man, am I having a heart attack? So I went in the master, and this is, 97, right? Is that when this was? December 97?
Starrcade, end of the year.
97, yeah. So it's, I'm looking in the the master, there was two different. There was a female, his and hers, and I'm looking at my wife's closet door. And I take my shirt off because I'm fucking sweating through it. And I look, man, and I'm fucking gray. I mean, I'm just fucking gray. And I said, man, am I having a heart attack? So I go outside, and it was cold as fuck. It was like 40 degrees outside. There was steam coming off me. And I walked back inside, and I sat down on the fucking bed, and I said, I put my hand here, and, you know, fucking, I was all fucked up. I couldn't count 10 seconds.
I was going to say, you're not a good judge at that.
Yeah, at this point, let me self-diagnose myself before WebMD. And I said, I'm not going to take a chance, man, dying on Christmas. And I always had that thing that, you know, because my father died of a heart attack. And so I called. And we lived in a gated community, but not only did we live in a gated community, but the front door of my house had an 8-foot, like, what the fuck would you call it? It had a big fountain and these doors that we brought in from a fucking Spanish mission. And so you had to get in my property, then you had to get in my courtyard. I had this big giant courtyard in front of my house with a fountain that was probably, I don't know, 15, 20 feet tall fountain. All, you know, that Spanish Phoenix shit. And so they're out there, and you could buzz from out, you know, to get into the courtyard. So my wife they're talking, and I hear my wife yell down the hallway. She goes, "Kevin, did you call an ambulance?"
You didn't let anyone know that they were coming?
No.
Oh,
why would I?
Why not, of course.
Sitting down there, you know. So she says, you know, where are you? I said, I'm down. I'm in the master. So I hear, you know, them come in, and I hear my Doberman fucking going crazy, and I'm like, oh fuck. So they take the Doberman and put him outside in the backyard, and they hear him wheeling like down to me. And it's like I said, it's a ways, man. Like they're not there in a second. Like, you know, I'm waiting. And all of a sudden they come, and they get to the doorway. It's a double doorway into the master. And I'm sitting on the bed. I'm looking at him. The guy comes in. The guy's Australian that's working. She says, "What's up, mate?" He says, "What's up, mate?" I said, "Nothing, man." I said, "If I could think I might be having a heart attack." He goes, "Why is that?" I said, "I don't know. I just don't feel real good." I said, "I feel fucked up." And he says, "You having a hard time breathing?" I said, "Man, I'm having a hard time just, you know, keeping, you know, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm so fucking wasted." And so the guy, they put the...
At any point, did they ask you what you've ingested?
Well, that's the guy. The guy says, "What have you taken?"
Yeah.
And I start naming this fucking list.
And he goes, "Oh, wait, that's not a heart attack. You're an asshole."
No, the guy says to me, he goes, "Is this a suicide attempt?" I said, "No, man, it's Christmas."
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said, "No, it's Christmas. I can't kill myself on Christmas, man. I'm just fucked up." And he says, "I guess." So they take me to Scottsdale North Hospital, and I go in there, and they do a PET scan on me. And because my diaphragm is so thick, you can't get the image. So the guy that's imagine who's is working on Christmas night. It's going to diagnose me, and the guy says, "I can't find the bottom of your heart." Like it's not showing up. Like, you know, I'm thinking, okay. So they put a heart monitor on me. I'm fine. I don't have any symptoms. But when they take my blood, there's an enzyme when you have a heart attack that goes through the roof. Well, I also fucking that day trained legs and back that morning because I had the key to the gym. So I walloped myself. So, of course, I've got a high level of this enzyme because I'd broken down so much muscle tissue from working out. So I spent the night in the hospital, and I'm like, oh, fuck. So I called Eric, and I said, Eric, I think I've had a heart attack. I said, they think I've had a heart attack. And Eric's like, all right. And I gave him the number where I was. And then the next day came, and he's like, I'll send a fucking private plane for you. Like, he's like, and it ended up Scott had to fucking work, you know, with double duty. Scott worked double duty. And I never, you know, I wasn't going to fucking tell anybody. Oh, I was so fucked up. So.
Bet that didn't kill your buzz at all, being in the hospital.
No, especially when I
tests.
sat there and the nurse came in. She said, I want you to walk around so we can, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, like, do you have any idea how fucking high I am? Like, fuck, man, you're killing
What were they
me.
trying? They wanted you to walk around. Why? What were they trying to force?
So they could look at my monitor to see if I had. And not only, so I was there for 24 hours under observation, and the doctor comes in the next day, and he fucking looked like Garfinkel. And he says to me, he goes, not only did you not have any heart problems last night, he goes, you didn't have one irregular heartbeat. He said, which is unbelievable. He said, most people would have something. He said, you don't have any sinus arrhythmia, and I'm like, okay. He says, you can go. So I go, and I go back to the, you know, Tamara's there, and she drives me back to the house, and her mom and her mom's husband are going to watch T, and Tamara and I, which we never really got a chance to, we went on a date and we went and saw Titanic. And fucking, we're in Titanic, and my fucking pager's just rifling off. And it's a number in Scottsdale. So finally, I get up and walk in the lobby, and I call, and they're like, you need to get back to the hospital, like, right now. I'm like 2 hours and 20 minutes in this motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm on my way. Like, I'm watching this fucker. So we watched the movie. They drove me over there, did a bunch of more tests on me, and then did the nuclear dye test, and then I didn't have any issues. So I went back to work.
Back to work. Unbelievable. Well, that's some story. Starrcade 97. That was. Questions from the house.
And I want to say, I don't think I ever did. I'm sorry.
You're apologizing to Eric now, clearly.
I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Am I supposed to know the reference?
It's Pee Wee Herman.
Oh. You always launch into your Pee Wee, and you get me every time. James Bedford. With WWE going to Las Vegas for the next WrestleMania, I've seen comments about them running a Raw SmackDown at the Sphere. What do you think they would even do for that? UFC is doing one.
They're not. I just saw yesterday that they're doing both Raw and SmackDown from the MGM.
Okay. James, UFC may still be doing it, but not WWE. Another of our 11 Soft Club. Britt, WWE, DX, ECW. Currently in this heartbreak hotel. No wedding happening over here. I dumped my boyfriend on Mother's Day. His ex posted them together over the weekend. See, we sensed that there was something toxic here. I think you asked Kevin a question a few weeks ago about would you tolerate, if I'm not mistaken, would you tolerate a friendship between
and I said, yeah, I said the only way they're fucking friends is if they're fucking banging each other.
See, the prosecution rests, Britt. What else we got here? Kevin Gilbalt. Kevin, do you have a favorite restaurant in Sarasota? Going with my wife and son down to Florida. Would like some good advice.
Not a Sarasota guy. My brother would. That'd be a great question for my brother, but I'm not a Sarasota guy.
I had Mexican there. It was on. It was on this street with like islands, which kind of goes toward the water. It kind of tees into the water. It was a minute ago, but there was a very good Mexican place on the south side of the street. If you're down there and you like to buy some art, I happen to know a very good, successful artist, Jonathan
I don't think
Herbert.
they're looking for art. I think
How do
they're
you
looking
know?
for a fucking restaurant.
Well, you never know. After you eat, you may want to go pick up a painting from Jonathan
Also,
Herbert.
if you're looking for a slightly used Mercedes-Benz, I know a guy named Edward Thompson
There you go.
that has a European used auto place. And but as far as restaurants, I know that there was a restaurant in the Circle that was Italian that was really good that had a piano player. My son got up and played the piano and sang with a guy. But I forget what the name of the restaurant was. But it wasn't a chain. It was a.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Okay.
one of those. They didn't take reservations. It was one of those fucking deals where you got to sit at the bar and do all that shit. So.
Is it this? You said the Circle. Maybe that's what I was thinking. I said an island, but maybe that's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of,
that circle in the middle of the city.
Got it.
That's a fucking high dollar fucking place.
Who else? Let's see. Who else is here? Let's see ya. Let's see ya. Let's hear ya. Be heard. Be seen. James, once again. Well, Dana White did say the UFC at the Sphere is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, only doing it once. What do you think Dana White does for this UFC at the Sphere? From what I saw, it would be a terrible venue.
Yeah.
It's
almost like fucking the Winston Tower at Daytona Beach. It's like it kind of goes up and then down, and your better seats are up, and I think it only holds like 15,000, doesn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think you're right. Speaking of your ridiculous city there, once again I turn on OP Live PD, whatever they call it now, and it's now Jeep Week again or something like that. Last week,
I was a couple weeks ago.
oh, Christ,
I have something every fucking week here.
ridiculous. All right, let's see. We have Thomas Logan gave us an F, marry, kill. Let's wrap it up with this. He's calling this the 1981 edition. Okay.
F, marry, kill 81?
81. Cassandra Peterson, otherwise known as Elvira, Heather Locklear, Shannon Tweed. Can we get a visual? There's 1, 2, 3. Shannon Tweed, of course, married to Gene Simmons now. And then Heather Locklear, who do I want to say married to? Was it Richie Sambora?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Cassandra Peterson, I don't know who she was married to. I do know that I believe she lost her virginity to Tom Jones when she was a dancer in Las Vegas.
What's new, pussycat?
And done ripped everything apart, and I think she might have ended up in the hospital after that. But all right, so
is Tom Jones
the girth,
to be?
the girth was massive.
Tuna can Tom. Got a cock the diameter of a can of tuna. While we're at it, we've got to wish our best to Kevin Sullivan,
The Taskmaster,
who broke his leg. I think he was helping somebody move, and somehow he got hit by a vehicle and broke his leg and had to go for emergency surgery today. And Kev, we're thinking about you. Love you.
Yeah, man. You're
well
one of the
soon.
good guys, bro.
Absolutely.
One
One
of
of my
the
favorite
real
people
deals.
on earth. That gets us out of fucking having to do that fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to lose in that, right?
What's that?
It's
Kill them all.
It's a win across. You kidding me? Throwing
Kill
them out
them
of
all.
bed for eating crackers?
Kill them all. It's fucking God. You gotta. You can't play that game with 81. You know what they
What would they do? How does the year come into play? Explain.
Because you fucking put 40 years on each of them, and you know what they look like.
Oh, yeah, but you're back then.
I'm not.
Fine. You're in the moment.
No, fuck that.
I want to remind everyone that Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, who would have done every one of them just on the screen, by the way.
My son said fucking same as me.
Kill them all. You get that luxury in the hearing him in the studio there. Producer Steve Coffin, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2024 Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, next one's 99. You want to do 99?
Bottles of beer on the wall. Maybe I'll stick a needle in my ass and then I'll fucking destroy a company.
Customer service never answers the thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love. Never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never